No, I think you can mess with
You
him.
can mess with him.
You can
You're
mess
gonna
with
mess
him.
with anybody. You can mess with him.
Hey everyone, it's John B. Welcome back to Apollo Reacts.
It's also Dex. You just,
I didn't segue you at all.
yeah, I was like,
I didn't segue at all. Hey y'all, it's John B with Apollo. Today we're doing Apollo Reacts, and I'm with...
it's your boy Dex. We out here.
And today we're watching the first episode of Drive to Survive Season 4. It just came out, so looking forward to watching this and starting off the season.
Lewis Hamilton was robbed. Let's get into it. Ooh.
It starts off with a daunting tone because they know how last season ended.
Hell yeah. Look at my king.
Of course.
The gloves are off. Absolutely. They were like, this is going to be some shit.
Netflix was like, oh, money. Just give it to us.
They had beef the whole season, and then it just ended perfectly for drama.
It's a nice little hype video.
The production value on this is crazy.
I mean, this is like, we're already like 3, 4, 5 minutes in. Yeah, I really can't. I'm really looking forward to the behind the scenes after Hamilton got robbed. Drive to Survive.
I love how they make it sound like it's life and death. I mean, it kind of is, like with the car crashes and stuff.
Yeah.
But like,
Clash of the Titans.
you don't have to drive to survive. You can do something else.
Yeah. You can take public transportation.
You could.
See, this is like good for me, like going back to the beginning of the season right now, the preseason, because I didn't become a F1 fan until literally Abu Dhabi, the last race of the season. So it's good for me to actually watch this because actually I haven't been spoiled. I haven't looked at the standings of who won what in the early part of the season. So this should be pretty good for me.
This season was incredible, dude. Like from start to finish.
Hey, I watched Abu Dhabi, so I think I got the gist.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gasly. I drafted him for my Formula F1 fantasy.
McLaren is so dope though. Like their colors and like all their gear and their logo, so fire. That orange,
Yeah,
can't be beat. Best in the game.
I don't know, man. I'm a big Carlos Sainz fan, and the fact that he's on Ferrari, I like red, and that red's pretty nice.
The red is pretty sick, yeah. And then Lewis Hamilton's just the coolest dude in the sport, obviously. So every Mercedes thing that he wears looks dope as hell.
Sainz is one of my favorites. After watching the first 3 seasons, I was like, this guy is just really cool, and it's kind of someone I just gravitated to.
So you watched all 3 seasons of the show right before Abu Dhabi?
I watched basically season 1, 2, and 3 in a span of about a week and a half leading up to Abu Dhabi.
I watched like 1 episode of this show right before Abu Dhabi when we came in here and we watched that race together. But
So you watched season 1, episode 1, which is from 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
Just prepare for
and
that race.
I was like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it all, and I just didn't get around to it.
No, I think you can mess with
You
him.
can mess with him.
You can
You're
mess
gonna
with
mess
him.
with anybody. You can mess with him. Hey, self-awareness key. I feel like to pull off a name like Toto as a grown man, you
Wolf?
gotta be
Total Wolf?
Toto. Like you gotta be jacked and like hot.
You can't waste a name like that.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Wow.
It's too early to tell whether Mercedes truly have dropped the ball. But the drivers don't look confident.
You know what's funny? They're wondering if Mercedes dropped the ball, and this is obviously a year ago to where we are now, but they're also kind of wondering the same thing now.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's almost comforting in a way.
Almost. Yeah. Where it's like, oh, this just happens every year. Every year they doubt Mercedes, and Mercedes is kind of shaky out the gate.
That's my yacht, by the way.
Let them borrow it for the show.
Yeah.
It was a whole thing.
They signed a contract with me.
I don't care what others are doing. It's about
Drive.
optimizing my
It's about power.
contribution in the team.
We stay hungry, we devour.
Because it means you've got the other 19 drivers starting behind you.
Alpha Tauri seems like it should be so much cooler than it is. Like I don't even know what that brand like is.
They're
as a company.
They're
but-
basically just Red Bull's minor leagues without it being F2,
Okay. Okay.
basically.
But yeah, that's what got me into Formula One was like all the camera angles. Like this is one of the best television products in sports. Like no commercials, every camera angle you could possibly want. Commentators are explaining the strategy perfectly. Like it's just incredible. It gets no better on TV for a sport.
And yet you have like the MLB, that have, for example, at Minute Maid, the left field wall, like it's just a static shot, and it's awful. It's very boring. You can't see it. It's pretty bad.
Yeah. Well, the NFL is like consistently there'll be plays happen where they'll just like
We don't have a good look at it.
we can't see it.
We're a
we don't
billion-dollar industry. Every year we make more and more billions of dollars, and we can't have 30 million camera angles at all of our games.
Did he get into the end zone? How can we know? Do you see all those people there? We can't see. Meanwhile, Formula One cars are going 250, 300 miles an hour, and they're just like, yeah, we got it all. We saw every single angle. It is just about tomorrow. You got to drive to survive.
Some would say.
Some would say.
Yeah, that Ferrari red is fire.
I feel like I would hate to be in a car, like, just sitting there while other people are carrying the car around.
You can't do anything.
Yeah. You're just sitting there off the ground with these, like, people holding your life in their hands, basically.
You know that tiny mistake can cost a lot.
The production value here is crazy, dude.
I find it so funny that you can build up so much tension like this for a show a year after.
Yeah.
We like already know the results.
Yeah, this doesn't matter at all.
Now, granted, as I said, I don't know the results because I haven't looked at the last season, but still.
Calls of encouragement.
What the heck?
Fucking Haas, bro.
They just started. You know, now that he's not in F1 anymore, I did remember seeing a stat like he had more spin outs than he did finishes or something like that. Bro, 3 turns. That's trash.
And it's over immediately. You did all this
3
work
corners.
for nothing.
You have to be reacting to what your rivals
He said y'all trash, bro. Y'all ain't hear that? Y'all gonna let talk about you like that?
from lights out to check a flag in the shortest amount of time possible.
Well, we put it like that, yeah.
That's a good plan, you know. It still amazes me how these drivers stay so calm and can talk so calmly back to their team.
Yeah.
Going at these speeds, trying not to crash into anyone. It's insane.
And like sometimes you'll hear it in their voices, but other times it's just like
Except Hamilton. Hamilton is just cool, calm, and collected always.
all the time. I'm like getting tense, like even though I already know how the whole season plays out. Like I don't remember this exact race, but it's like I already know what's going on. Oh, this is so sexy.
And you need to think what to expect from your enemy.
They turn like 3 seconds of changing wheels on a car into some of the coolest shit you've ever seen.
Yeah, nice little 30-second montage there.
Hell yeah.
Which is important. But at some point it comes down to the 2 drivers racing for the finishing line.
Yeah.
And that sums up the end of the whole season.
Yeah. I still haven't gotten an answer to this question. Maybe they addressed it in earlier seasons, but like, how did the crew get here? You know what I'm saying?
Like, what career path,
Yeah.
what trajectory did you take to end up at this point?
Define margins that win or lose races and world championships.
Yeah, that's crazy. That I didn't know that rule. If you pass someone right there, you have to let them get back in front of you.
One might say he's driving to survive.
Wow.
King.
Still got it.
And against the odds, one direction.
You saw that look in his eyes? That was Max's villain origin story. It is kind of good that on this first episode, they really focused in on Red Bull and Mercedes, because I feel like the director of it was like, hey, we know.
We know.
we know like what everyone's here for, the end. So it's only right if we started off with these two. So, what are your thoughts on the first episode?
I'm so excited to watch the rest of the season. Like, obviously, we know how it all plays out at the end. We were up here a few months ago watching Abu Dhabi, like, so we know where this is going. But this, like, watching the show, they're gonna make it so much more dramatic, like, than it even already was. It was already some of the most dramatic shit ever, like. But yeah, the way they just built tension for that first race, which like we know it doesn't really matter anymore. Like it was a whole year ago. Yeah,
and it's like they're already that deadlocked into each other, you know, leading up to the season.
Yeah,
she's not even started yet, and they're already at each other's throats.
Already, like you can already see the tension. These dudes generally hate each other. Like it feels like I can't wait to watch the rest of this season, man.
Yeah.
Like I haven't watched the other 3 seasons up to this point, so I can't like compare it. You can. We'll ask you to do that in a second, but I'm so hyped to watch season 4 of Drive to Survive. So, you saw the first 3 seasons. You watched them all pretty quick, back to back to back. What do you think of the first episode compared to the previous season? Has it gotten better? Has it gotten worse? Where you at?
I really feel like, based off how this episode just was, they kind of knew from the beginning like what formula that they wanted for the show and how to direct the episodes to present it to the audience. And I feel like the first few episodes of season 1, it's kind of like they're a little bit different, but they definitely hit their groove pretty early on in season 1, and the rest of the seasons are very much like this. Again, I think my main thing as a first time viewer jumping into the sport by watching Drive to Survive, granted, when I was watching season 1, I knew it was a few years older of material.
Yeah.
So I was just kind of wishing like there were more instances. Like, for example, we just watched the end of that race, but like we know who was 1 and 2, but like what about everyone else in the show? True. So I was like, I wish they would kind of like provide an update or a points total to kind of see like the stipulations as someone who's watching the show in retrospect. Like, oh well, why is this so tense? You know, and plus like Mercedes wasn't even in the first season. So, as someone who was getting into the sport, I knew of Lewis Hamilton, and I'm sitting there like, I'm like, where the hell is this guy? Yeah. Where's? So I think that's the main thing. It's just like spotlights for every team. But I get it. Not every team wants to be in the show. Like I know Max Verstappen opted out of, I think either the upcoming season or this season, that he's like not going to be interviewed or anything like that. But either way, I don't know. It's again very good. Still just on brand with what they've been delivering. So. I'm as someone who didn't keep up with the F1 series or season last year, I'm ready to watch the rest of it.
Oh yeah, let's get back to it, man.
But
so dope.
Yeah, thanks for watching the first episode of Drive to Survive Apollo Reacts with John B and Dex. See y'all later.